Now, are you for or against the dog park?
If people have dogs, it's my opinion, they need a dog park. Where is the next question?
This is an empty space that's been there for years, and there's several members in the community that formed a organization to get a dog park at this empty space. The city has put in a procedure of how a group goes about to get a dog park in the space, and they saw this empty space and decided to put it to use. And a big controversy arose when they found out that it's supposed to be turned into a parking lot, which upset many people in the neighborhood. And they expressed their upset, their anger, and their opposition to this massive parking lot. And on the other side, there are many people in this neighborhood who are strongly opposed to dog parks. So we have this big conflict between these two groups of people.
I'm supporting whatever more than 300 people signed the petition for, which is a dog park. And we need a green space instead of having this ugly space, as you can see behind me, to have it for the neighborhood and for everybody. As you can see, there is more than 300 people who supporting this, and those are the taxpayers that have life and paying taxes, and they want something to do with make better neighborhood for themselves and their neighbors.
I don't think that the space should be used as a dog park. I don't think that it will accompany the space for the use of the school. The school will be used for child abuse victims, and they are the worst cases in the city. And so we will have victims of physical, sexual, and emotional abuse in the facility. And they will have to undergo treatment, medical exams, forensic interviews, court cases will be made in the building. And I just don't think that a dog park in close vicinity to what is going to be happening there is good space. I'm open to even the park across the street being used as a dog park, but not the back parking lot.
Let me tell you exactly where I stand. As I look at, from a logical standpoint, right now I'm standing near 5th and P Street, and right across the street is Kipp School or Scott Montgomery. And if you look at the parking on that lot right there, that's not sufficient parking, even for the residents that live here to have an opportunity to park their vehicles. Now you go one block over, basically to New Jersey in O Street, you'll see that the Bundy School doesn't have sufficient parking to accommodate Safe Shores facility, particularly for the neglected and abused children. A lot of people from 2nd and Northwest and some people on O Street will complain about the lack of parking spaces if Safe Shores does not get the approval to have the number of parking spaces they need on that lot.
How many parking spaces do they need?
I think they're requesting 100, but realistically, I don't even think you can get 60 something on that parking lot. I think it'd be kind of small. And I think because you're not just looking at staff, you're also looking at visitors coming there to park their vehicle. I don't think a dog park would even after they get their parking spaces, I don't even think they would have enough room for a dog park.
We're talking really about this parking lot across the street over here. I think what a lot of people are concerned about is that you have a big parking lot that's empty at night, and these things tend to become magnets for crime, that people will sort of congregate in there. They become places where people do drug deals and so forth, and we don't really want that to happen. So I think what people are trying to do is try to figure out some public use of at least part of that land. Is a very big space. I mean, it's got room for at least 100 cars there. That part of that land could be used for something where it would actually attract people from the neighborhood who would actually be there and spend time there. Where you have people gathering, that tends to for some innocent purpose, it tends to deter crime. So I think that's. I think it would be good to have a dog park there. I'm not personally going to use it myself, but I think there are a lot of people in the neighborhood who would.
How do you feel about the Bundy Park?
The park itself, we like to use it more. We feel it's underutilized. The neighborhood talks about how the kids use it, but since we abut the parking lot from our window and from our deck, we see it all the time. It's not really being used. Kids don't use it other than the school, which, you know, they have first priority. And then on the weekends, you know, the out-of-towners come in, Virginia, Maryland, in their soccer league and softball league use it. But the community as a whole doesn't use it. So when we first moved here, you know, early in the morning, you know, 6 a.m., we'd have the dog out, and we kind of met and talked to other owners. So for us, it was a good way to meet everybody. We met some old-time neighbors, some new residents, and it was good communication. We spoke, and we still speak. But that was 6 years ago. You know, during those times, it was we were new, they were new. But as more influx of people moved in, it's changed. But the parking lot behind has always been vacant and empty. So it'd be a great location to open up that line of communication with each other, say hello, speak, just walking and passing, you know, instead of being quiet.
Would you be for a dog park?
No.
No.
I would be, I think there are other places in this neighborhood that could be a dog park. And they could be, and it would be much better to have a dog park somewhere else. You know, I think when the city accepted an application for a temporary dog park over on 11th and Rhode Island, I more or less figured that, you know, at some point there will be a permanent dog park here. And I'm fine with that, but not at this location.
Mainly the people who were opposed to the dog park, they did so claiming several reasons. One, they said it should be all parking. There should not be any part of it that's not parking. The reason they gave is that it would take up parking from the residents. The director of the Office of Property Management stated that she believed that the whole lot isn't necessary for parking, so that would take care of that argument. There were other arguments that there should be green space for children. It was pointed out in the meeting that there is green space for children. There's a park at New Jersey and O that has plans for a child-friendly park, and there's also a child's playground on the school lot that's behind this building. So there are ample child-friendly green spaces in this area. And to me, those were the two arguments against it, and I just don't think that those arguments are the best, would overcome the big support that we have for a dog park.
If Safe Shores had some space, perhaps they should put a basketball court over there to allow them folks that's hanging at 5th and N and 5th and O to release some of that tension and energy and go on the basketball courts and play some basketball, just like they do in the field.
You would be in favor for that?
Of a basketball court? Yes. Absolutely. And I think if they had it, you would have a decrease in homicides, a decrease in shootings. You would not have people hanging out in front of people's houses. You wouldn't have the loitering and the littering that is going on in front of people's houses, and you wouldn't have the tension that exists between non-dog owners and dog owners and that type of thing.
I'm all for the kids. Kids are first priority, but to my knowledge, and I think it is on track, Scott Elementary is going to have, Kip's going to have a brand new top park open for the public. There's also supposed to be the new park right behind on New Jersey, New Jersey and up. So you got two brand new parks, and you have Kennedy Center, all within a 2-block radius. So if they want it, but I think the close proximity to this playground, doesn't seem feasible. As an architect, I'd like to see some diversity, something really good land use there. And I think a dog park would be a better land use, just because even Safe Shores is going to have a park on the side, a top park, and that's going to be open to the public, after hours, so weekends and whenever it's going to be open. So you're really going to have 4 if you include those. So have a 5th one in that same, or have another park behind the park, really doesn't make sense.
I think the point is that there's a lot of people with different agendas here. There's a lot of people who would like to have a dog park in the area. There are a lot of people who want to have children's playground. And unfortunately, it seems like a lot of people think it's either one or the other, that there isn't room for compromise and that there isn't room to have all of these things, actually. And I think there is. And I think that, unfortunately, people get very emotional about it and start yelling at each other, and then the whole idea of a compromise and sort of working together and try to figure things out gets lost in the process. And unfortunately, I think that's what happens fairly frequently in this neighborhood. I don't know if it's like that in the rest of the city, but it certainly seems to be the case around here. So hopefully, I think maybe people can try to figure out that there is room for compromise, and that all these ideas that people have for the use of the land are not mutually exclusive. That a lot of them can be, all of them can be accommodated if everybody sort of puts their heads together and tries to work things out.
First of all, I would like to see this community come together as a community. We have a mayor who will work with us. And I think before it comes to this, people disliking each other, we should sit down at the round table and come to a consensus as to what's best for the community.
And what do you think is going to take to get that to happen?
We need Mayor Fenty here, and we need some of his representatives, Councilmember Jack Evans. This is a serious issue, and it needs to come to a good resolution.